Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Welcome, bitch. I'm sorry, I called you a bitch. That was rude. That was rude. You know, YouTube don't like that in the first couple seconds. So, although you are a bitch, I will hold off for now. Welcome to the Koopa. Welcome to the Mark. It's another episode of the Solo Quest. Don't we love it? Don't you love it? Is this? Oh my gosh, why is the volume coming out of my computer? That's so weird how it does that sometimes. Anyways, we love the quest. We love the dragon. Today in the wonderful dragon, the wonderful quest, we're gonna be becoming an arbiter. Before you finish the Dark Tower, of course, you have to become arbiter so that you can bring people up through the Dark Tower. And you know, we'll equate it to the good old society, life, all that general shit. But for gameplay wise, what we're doing here is we're actually traveling around this cool, quote unquote dark realm area, utopia here. Gonna travel around and basically just worship, give our thanks, our prayers to all the monuments around, doing our wonderful arbiter's worship dance. That's it's what you be doing in church and shit. And from that we'll gain access to the top of the Dark Tower. We'll get our tablet and we'll be able to connect the realms more fully and all that wonderful stuff. But yeah, I would say, oh yeah, this is just the end of my recording, so we'll just dance here for a little bit actually. But I would say, equating this to good old world, good old American Western society, I'd say, yeah, it really does equate to a lot of sensical knowledge, because the whole utopia concept of where the powerful, rich, influential stay, it all goes back to a sort of internal human prosperous manner that you're not really supposed to chase riches. You're supposed to teach men to fish, per se, right? So the whole point of the Dark Tower is to have this power, to have this power to be a gatekeeper, and gatekeep the stupid evil retards from getting up here, and keep all the good people up. But see, the thing is, there's no good people here. There are just robots, because that's the only way you can really be a truly whole arbiter. You have to be fully in line, fully connected. You cannot make mistake. And nowadays, we've metagamed everything nowadays. So everybody is way overpowered, way over level capped, and everything is way more dramatic than it needs to be. But we've especially done this with virtue signaling and hoping that nobody ever does anything wrong. Like, I mean, that's how it always has been, right? We hold the nobles to higher standards, but now it's like if you do anything, you have to be like more than perfect, because everybody's got a camera, everybody's got a little microphone, everybody can snap a flick, take a pic, and that makes us all kind of crazy national surveillance robots. They don't need cameras. Don't you realize, with all of our data and cookies, they are monitoring everything? And it's kind of crazy to think about it. I mean, most people live their entire life online. Not even like a little bit. Like the screen time is like 13 hours daily. Like how much are you not on a screen? Like, my screen's open right now. Let me close my phone. I have 100%, but like my phone is just open. I have a live stream on actually while I'm recording this, no lie, because I love to see Dragon Quest gameplay, and I think supporting your favorite streamers, your Oshis, is important. So I tend to do that, hang out in the stream chats. I'm also learning Japanese as I feel, obviously I feel it would be a little bit useful since I am playing this game. Hello, there's Japanese on the screen right now. You should know what this says. Okay, I do know what that says. That you have to type in ogre on the chat for this part of the mission here. Well, you don't have to type in ogre, but it asks you what your favorite race is. See, the thing is, with the arbiter, I guess, quiz or like worship ceremony, it just asks you sort of questions, like a questionnaire, to get your scope on the worthiness of being someone to elevate, like being a teacher, being a gatekeeper, of some sorts, because the whole lore, I guess the lore with America too, is that the people here were kind of exiled and put down to the dark realm because they did bad things. So now we're forgiving them. Now we're bringing them back up. We're gonna change this world, and it all starts with one arbiter. It all starts with someone to connect the realms. So Oh, yeah, guys. The fact of the matter is, Utopia, it's fallen. It has fallen. You know what I'm saying? It's a wonderful place. It's still filled with wonderful things and opportunities. But I mean, we all know this. Heaven on earth is more on an individual basis than an actual place or even like a bank account amount or an amount of security. You know, heaven on earth does exist. But now we become such a crazy individualistic society that, you know, it's like everybody's got to choose their own version of heaven. It's really hard to get that good community because there's always a Judas. You know, Judas is lurking among all of us, and even if he's not lurking among all of us, he'll lurk within one of us, and there's the hive mind that slowly gets infected. You know, the whole one bad apple thing. You really need one very, very conscientious objector who's just like there and like, no, you know, no, none of you motherfuckers are gonna fall out of line, and if I see somebody falling out of line, I'm gonna whip them into shape. And that takes a lot of masculine energy, which is in general kind of vile these days, kind of demonized. And I don't think so. Personally, I still do have like a more of a feminine nature, and I'm not even sure if it's like, you know, more nature or nurture or my environment that, you know, preach me this way. It's definitely how school raises you up to be. And I've always kind of had a little bit of an autistic personality, but I try very hard. And you know what autistic people are good at? They're good at following directions. So the thing is, I think, you know, no matter how much I tried to be like a hipster and come out of the school programming, I think it really did do a number on, you know, my ability to trust my own instincts and think out of the box, which is what I usually like to do. I'm a huge critical thinker. I was, you know, praised in high school for my writing and thought ability, you know, my debate ability. A lot of people thought I had something in my presentations, but you know, it's like you just have to hone it. You have to, like, you know, morph it into something because it's not directed in the right way. And I got that a little bit, you know, and I just decided to never work on it again. But yeah, you need to really look into yourself, because we're really not going to change these things that have been baked into us from childhood. The nature is really deep in there. So even if you work very, very hard at becoming this awesome masculine, you know, Herculean being, the thing is, if you stop trying really hard, which you would love to do, I mean, guys, try really fucking hard for 5 years, and then see how much you want to keep trying hard. You know, you're gonna want to stop trying hard to be this better person, right? And as soon as you stop trying really hard to be this better person, guess who you're gonna go back to? Who you were as a kid. Every time, and it always takes like 4 or 5 years, because that's when you're gonna get tired. You're gonna get sick of this bullshit. And this is why, guys, you can't really settle for, you know, the girls you meet at the club, the 304s, the girls with even 304 friends, you know, or whatever. You know, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, and we've all known this. And so you can't turn, you know, a feminine, you know, porn-induced brain loser into a king or a winner, or somebody like Steve Jobs or whoever these old-ass boomer millionaires were back in the day. Because nowadays, to get to that crazy amount of success and fame with a business, you not only have to be a robot, non-feeling, individual, disgusting bastard, but the amount of work you have to do to get to that level. The amount of AI you have to train to do the work for you and constantly work like 8 different businesses, step on toes. And that's so crazy that you can do it. You can do it without stepping on toes and without, you know, getting over on people, but it's so much dick sucking. It's so much nepotism. And even still, you know, somebody could, you know, you see this shit all the time. Like Corey X Kimchi, man. Somebody could still, just like some random chick you fucked 7 years ago, could be like, I'm trying to get some of that money now that he's got a little bit. And so it's just, you have to really lean back. And a lot of people are realizing this. You gotta lean back and let life take its course. You can't let this government rat race bullshit drive you to actually look like an old decrepit man at 31. Like, you gotta really let life take its course, because the stress will fucking kill you. Just do the shit that you've always loved doing. Utopia will come or it won't come, depending on whether you're worthy or not, depending on how much you've worked towards it, depending on your thoughts surrounding it. I guarantee you, if your thoughts surrounding it don't involve abundance, it most likely isn't gonna get you there, or if it gets you there, it won't keep you there, or help you get anyone else there. Because when we get to utopia from a perspective of lack and oh my god, I finally made it here, I'm done, or perspective of if I don't get $1 million by 30, I'm going to die. You know, if we get it from that perspective, if we get that, if we reach that goal, what happens to you? A lot of people don't like to talk about this because this is a little scary. Like what if your big break actually does happen, you know, and you don't deserve it, and you're gonna know if you deserve it or not. But see, the thing is, so many people, I've heard at least, have done copious, dreadful amounts of work and seen nothing. So I'm like, fuck it, man. You know, I hate this world. I'm disgusted with it. But I'm curious to know how you do it nowadays. Like we need to have the pathway set up. Because I believe in this reincarnation shit. So whatever life that, you know, I pass on, whatever aura, you know, that my one for all passes on to the next hero, they gotta know how to do this shit. And also, if you hate your life, just take a lot of actions and you'll forget that you hate your life. You know what I'm saying? People are all trash, but you know, as long as I go out, absolutely destroy my body, absolutely destroy my mind. And the thing is, I have to remember to eat healthy too. That's the one thing. I really hate eating. But the smoothies do help, and you fuel your body. You take copious amounts of action, and then me, I'm a creative, so I just create shit. And I think these talks really are helping me. It helps to just vent it out, really breathe it out. Because yeah, that's the component I'm missing. I think so. That's the missing piece of life for me right now. I really don't have anyone to truly open up to, and I think that's self-inflicted. Obviously, I mean, I think people would like to conversate, but I don't feel comfortable with the internet age. I've realized this by myself. It's just something that I have to get over. But I wrote it in my notes because this is kind of surprised me when I sort of said it with in my mind. I'm like, that makes so much sense. I'm not comfortable with like collaborative attraction, right? You know, like the fact that your friends will help you get a girlfriend or whatever, you know, or you know, some girl secretly plotting on you, and she asked her friend what you like, and you know, she asked her other friend what kind of thing to get. I don't like that. I hate that. It's mostly because I lack a lot of trust, the parasocial, paranoid, schizophrenic kind of vibe, right? And that's like a lot of not even like girlfriends relationships. That's like a lot of friendships, man. Like that's a lot of friend groups, man. And I just hate talking about other people that aren't generally in the vicinity, in a good or bad way. Because honestly, I get so misconstrued and misunderstood, and people will just take whatever narrative they want, and yeah, I don't like to speak in exacts. I like to speak in abstractions and be a little bit, you know, analogous and just kind of ambiguous in my intentions. And that's why I do get a lot of play, but I still don't like the fact that everybody has to do the same to me. And that's very hypocritical, I realize, which is why I also stepped out of the game. You know, you got to realize if what you're doing is toxic, not only you, but to everyone around you, and you're just kind of, you know, perpetuating an erotic cycle, you got to like just take a step out and realize what you really want. But yeah, that really got me saying, I'm like, because I remember way back in college, this girl was like, DeMarcus, I can never imagine you with a girlfriend. I'm like, well, that's kind of mean. But then I thought about it, and like a couple days later, a couple weeks later, I was like, yeah, no, I see that though. But I was like, why? And I never intellectualized why until I realized that. I'm like, I'm not comfortable with this collaborative thing where you want to talk about him and you want to talk about her. I don't even think I'll ever be comfortable like coming home from work and talking to like my girlfriend about my work troubles, or talking to her about her work troubles and being involved in her work friend group. That sounds terrible to me at this point in my life. That sounds fucking dreadful. And we have weird thoughts, we have weird eras, but we're all different, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Like of course a weirdo like me has a perspective that can be a little different, you know. But a lot of people, these fake nice motherfuckers, you know, the whole are nice guys shit, They are all trying to act like the hive mind, and we are all so different nowadays. You know it if you ever go online, you know how diverse these motherfucking minds are. So the fact that we all would have this, you know, pure, pristine cut, happy, nice guy personality and just, you know, give all these girls tons of compliments and validation makes no sense. And then the girls know it, they feel it. But yeah, that's how we're trained to be. That's at least how I was trained to be. That's how a lot of my play got played back in the day. I was a Tinder Bumble guy. You know, you think I know actually court girls in real life? I do not. I do not. But yeah, Utopia style, being the Arbiter, you know, means you're supposed to elevate people up to that level to be able to do shit like this. And I realize like collaborative attraction is kind of like being a teacher in some ways. You know, you're just teaching people about you or about, you know, the people around you, about your community. And I feel like my brain is a damn community, man. I talk to myself so much. I talk in myself so much. Thinking, analyzing, you know, shit. It's very funny. It's very funny. But yeah, I really do think the Force meta, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand, man. It's getting out of hand. The Arbiters and the people meant to bring everybody up are getting annihilated, you know? Just essentially by bad actors, you know, people who want that juice without squeezing. You gotta squeeze a little bit, you know, and a lot of people are like, oh God, I'm squeezing, and then another other motherfucker's like, oh, I'm not squeezing at all, I don't know why the juice isn't coming out, and then somebody's trying to squeeze for them. It's a weird analogy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the Force meta is going crazy, and the bad actors have so many tools to trick you into thinking they're squeezing harder than you. What in reality, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to work harder and not smarter. But nobody wants to tell you that, man. Nobody wants to give you that clue in to be like, hey, man, chill out. What you normally do is probably enough. Most likely. You know, to really improve our lives, we really don't have to do a bunch of extra shit. We usually just have to cut out shit. You know, like stop doing drugs. Stop fapping your lap. Stop watching so much YouTube. Oh, wait, not this video. Oh, no. Yeah. So let's fight a boss now. To be a little boss, the part of the Dark Tower. I think we'll actually fight both of these guys here today. But we of course have our Guardian, and then we'll go ahead and put the podium in, and we'll have an annoying cutscene of fun and whimsy. Don't you know? Don't you know? Don't you love? The whole Arbiter thing is very annoying too. The fact that, you know, you've made it to Utopia, and, you know, now your purpose in life is to get more people to Utopia. It's like, what the fuck? That's so lame. That's so lame. Am I the only one that thinks that's lame? This is why I don't want all the money and all the power, because like, what else are you gonna do? If you're just one of these motherfuckers with a bunch of money that just sits on it, I don't know how you don't just like hate yourself and have to goon or sex or do something to get all that evil in your heart out into the world. Because like, I don't understand how you just sit there on the pile. You know, it has to be just hella distractions, and I get that. I am hella distracted too. You know, that actually makes a lot of sense. We live in the world of distractions, and when you're rich, when you're in Utopia, that's what they try to do. That's why you have to light the torches and actually connect shit to get through the Dark Tower. It's like you connecting all the dots from the distractions and bullshit darkness. That's crazy that I'm real time coming into that realization. Yeah, the age of distraction is crazy, and now they don't even want you to think when you have to think. You know, with ChatGPT, they don't want you to actually critical think about the task you're doing. They want you to just kind of lock in and just Zen mode it out. You know, just be like, I am working now. I'm manifesting money now. Type it in. Can I get money? ChatGPT, how to money. Oh, that is how to money. Yes, do the money for me. Yeah, do the money this way. Yeah, finish doing the money. Okay, schedule money for Tuesday again. Ow! That was the money hit. Guys, we have to critically think. I'm sorry. I apologize, because I would love a life where I don't have to think about anything, and then everything is just given to me, and I can just sit back and goon my life out for the rest of my life. Because I feel that is why I masturbate in the first place. That is one of the few areas in life where I can actually disconnect my brain from my body. Normally, can't do that. Not even really while I'm dancing. Sometimes while I'm dancing, which is why I like dancing so much too. But every time, if I'm having fun gooning, if I'm not having fun gooning, then I'm actually thinking about what I'm doing. And that's, you know, what you're supposed to do to stop. But I kind of hate how much it works. You know, it's very sad. Because I've always been one who, you know, actually think, like, you know, whenever in the movies I'm watching, and I feel like this is kind of why horror movies don't work for me. I always literally imagine myself as the cameraman. Like, I can't, you know, I can see the camera guy every time, or I can see the CGI, or I can look, I'm like, how do they do this shot? You know, it's just automatically where my brain goes. One of the reasons why I don't really look up actors too much, because I get very, very parasocial. And I'm very glad there's this new wave of entertainment where, you know, it's an actual anime character, so that I don't actually, you know, fall in love with a real person. Great. But in my opinion, you should never meet your heroes. Probably never, ever. Just, you know, support what you support. But in the end, I have to remember this too. It's just like, you know, when somebody compliments you on the street, you really like watching them and, you know, smiling at them and, you know, giving them whatever support you have or want to give is enough. More than enough. But people are so obsessed with the clout and not acting like these are like regular, schmegular folks. You know what I mean? And I have to realize that, yeah, it's very easy to do that. It's very easy to do that, you know? But every time when I go into a video, I can't automatically have fun with it like that. Like I feel like everybody else does and just automatically jumps in there. I have to manually put my fucking brain in fun drive. Which is why I usually like to play video games while watching something, or you know, do a mute activity with my hands, because yeah, the brain just does not stop. And it's very funny that I'm phrasing this as a problem, because it doesn't sound like a problem. I honestly wouldn't say it's really a problem. That's kind of why I feel like I'm the smartest dumb person I know, because, you know, like, it's just, what is the point of all this brain power? You know, it's like the time stop power, but time has always stopped. You know, like, what's the point of that? It's really dumb. One of the genie wishes that nobody really wants, right? And so, because of the parasocial nature of every, like, I feel like I'm a collaborator in every movie, everything I watch, you know, the gooning wasn't really a good thing for me at first. In fact, I didn't even know really how to do it. I was like, what the hell? How do people do this? This is so weird to see. But then eventually you just watch enough. It's kind of like, you know, the second time I heard a Skrillex song, I kind of got it a little bit, and then the third time I heard a Skrillex song, I was like, okay, you know, I understand, you know? You kind of get acclimated to what you're supposed to do, and I feel like there is probably a phenomenon like that, where there are certain things in life that, you know, we naturally aren't accustomed to, that you just kind of learn through evolution or something. Like, you just kind of know how to morph your brain to do this. Definitely not the natural things. Like, I wish it was like this way with cars for some reason, but no, it's not. It's not. Like, we can't just, like, come out of the womb and be able to drive stick shift. And instead, we come out of the womb and we know how to goon our brains out and turn our mind off and stroke our wee-wee. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? You know, in the human race, fantastic. But I think it really is just a need for, like just general oxytocin or whatever the fuck. You know, because I grew up in a weird state, you know, a weird area. It was never truly easy for me to make friends. So, you know, that was like my first, I guess, friendly experience. It's very weird. It's very weird to phrase it that way. Yeah, but it fucked you up. It fucked you up. And then you're constantly in Utopia Dark realm, you know? Because Utopia, I feel like, you know, you're out there, you're having, like, tons of relations, tons of, you know, wonderful times, and you know, you're just secure because you can go back to Utopia. The moon is there. You know, there may only be bots, but you know, the bots are gonna serve you. They're gonna serve you. You know, you go to the dark realm, you do your thing. I feel like Utopia is kind of a great place, but you know, we're all tricking ourselves to believe that heaven on earth is already here. When in reality, yeah, Yeah, we got some work to do. We definitely got some work to do. Dark Realm is where most of these people are. Dark Realm is where most of us are willingly staying. Because like this Dark Tower bullshit, the work it takes to get to Utopia and the work it takes to stay in Utopia, and the motherfuckers that are in Utopia gatekeeping, it's like, you don't want to be there, man. You don't want to be there. You don't want these problems, man. I understand the Tupac. I understand the Frank Ocean, man. I was in the entertainment industry for a little bit, and I don't care to talk about it now, but yeah, you're just gonna meet a lot of people that act like they're in your corner but aren't really in your corner. Just like anything else in life, it's just very annoying because they're just so good at the acting part. Like, god damn, God, you would be such a good actor. God damn. And then you kind of start to second guess yourself with your intuition. It's like, oh man, maybe I was the bad person, you know, because they were so good to me. I really have to think back. You know, how many times did I really ask somebody for a favor, you know, a question, you know, some advice? I really have to think back to that. You know, I have to just count the times, count the times. Count the times, count the times, count the levels we've accumulated. Yeah, life is weird when you go through only valuing growth. Weird. But a lot of people, you know, I mean, they'll collect experience points here and there, but you know, they're much more for free gold. Free gold? I'll take free gold. And motherfucker like me, you know, back in the day when male's attention was valued very highly, you know, motherfucker like me was a free bank. I'm like, free money? Who wants attention? Free attention? I'm here. Free labor too. Free smiles, free good vibes. Free. And you know, you think it's not gonna take long for this to, you know, add up again. You know, it's just like any starting business. But anyone who started a business before will let you know. If they have a successful business, that means it's behind like 8, 9 maybe unsuccessful businesses. And behind every successful business is something in the background that is unsuccessful and nobody's telling you about. Like unpaid labor. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Sojo. The thing is, guys, most businesses can't afford to raise their wages to actual living wages because we're so beyond fucked with middle management. We're so beyond fucked with people who have jobs that add absolutely no productivity. Productivity? What you talking about? I'm here to look good. I'm here to sound good. I'm here to please these customers with my mouth. I'm here to please these CEOs with my mouth. And these mouth pleasers, mouth breathers, mouth leaders, mouth leaders, you know, they'll keep stroking them off. They'll keep sucking them off. And that is like a job because they go home, these CEOs, these bosses, these huge dudes, they go home and they don't get none of that from the man. Yeah, exactly. The man at home in a woman's body. They don't get the love from them. They go home to their man, and their man beats them and says, you don't get sex, and then they go to work, and they get it from the middle management. And it's all like a happy, you know, wonderful workforce now. And isn't that great, you know? Isn't that fantastic? I think, you know, we started in a good place. I really do. You know, the whole feminist movement. But we certainly lost the plot. I'm sorry. Girls on the ground now. Get on the ground. We've tricked ourselves into believing Utopia is the end game. And maybe it is for girls. You know, the thing is though, I feel like in life there really is no end game. Like Hollywood really has fooled us into just being media gooners and thinking just, you know, get married, get boyfriend, and then do nothing. Then no work needed, you know? I don't need to work on myself. I don't need to work on you. I don't need to work on anything. Working? Like, just, I mean, is it bad to expect more from people? Is that terrible? I expect, you know, you to get better. I expect me to get better. I expect you to help me get better. You should expect me to help you get better. And then I try to help you get better to, you know, start this ball going, right? Right? And then you're like, oh, he's controlling. He's disgusting. He's a misogynist. You know, he doesn't respect what I want to do. Okay, I respect what you want to do. Here's what I think you should do if you want to stop being a fucking idiot. There it is. And there it is. And there it is. And there it is. The thing is, guys, and this is the real thing, because I really have to talk to guys now, because, you know, there's like 0.000001 girl here, and she's probably watching the shorts. So the thing is, guys, the real way to stop this movement is to stop tolerating the bullshit. So I'm so glad we're doing this whole go your own way, go to a different country, you know, really strap in and take no bullshit, you know, from the Western women or the Eastern women or any woman. Take no bullshit. And I'm sorry, this means we're gonna have to do a lot less communicating, a lot more disappointing, a lot more cutting off shit that just doesn't feed us. And it's gonna be very lonely and very boring if you don't wanna, you know, goon to porn all day. Yeah. And that's what you have to realize. Like, porn really does nothing. It just makes life a little bit more exciting, faux pas exciting, I guess. It doesn't really like sustain you or, you know, keep you level-headed or whatever. You know, you're gonna have brain fog and you're gonna be distracted more, so you're not gonna realize how shit your life is. And then eventually when it's gone, you know, when you're at my level and you're slowly taking into to be once a week now, you know, you're like, damn, I have so much just time where like I'm bored. But that's good. It's good to be bored, but like, Jesus Christ, life is hella boring. Life is hella sad. Like, I don't want to think about the horrible situation I'm in. I don't. But I do. Because life is very boring. We're boring. And yeah, people don't realize that to really evolve in life, you know, you have to, well, nowadays you have to be this crazy jack of all trades. And luckily ChatGPT is helping us with that a lot, you know, because you don't have to jump into a lot of different baskets in order to, for example, make an art, you know, an art for a YouTube video, or, you know, thumbnails, or, you know, get music, or necessarily do the business side of things. Now that we have all these collaborators, you know, you really do just have to lock into one thing once you find your path and use the AI to fill in the gaps, man. And that's just gonna make life really fucking boring. I'm sorry, this is the way the world is, but you're gonna have a lot of motherfuckers stepping in your way. A lot of bad actors trying to tell you that this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. No, this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. And some of them are right for them. Some of them are right for you even. But find the one that is right for you. And then don't keep, you know, switching or thinking or, you know, modifying, you know. It takes a lot of fucking data. It takes a lot of fucking data. The thing is, you don't just wake up and succeed. The reason why people like, you know, Asmongold and all these other streamers have come up and actually succeeded is because they had a huge data point. And they worked very hard on their content, on their products. And the crazy thing that I don't know how so many game developers have forgotten is if you make a quality product, no matter what that quality product is, people will come. And motherfuckers have forgotten. They put like, oh, no, wait, people want a message. And people want to be, like, taught things. And I really think it's a psyop, guys. I don't mean to radicalize you with this shit, but I really think it's a psyop. Because honestly, how could you possibly think that this is going to earn money? 13%, 13%, 13%. Like, this is not a minority country. Are you making games for white girls who specifically have empathy for other minorities? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? That's not even a huge market. Like, really? That's not even a huge market. You think most white girls have empathy for you? Dog, I'm sorry. The scary thing, and you'll realize this if you fuck a lot of white chicks, the scary thing is that most white chicks will fuck a black guy. Most white chicks will not date a black guy. You know, there's a lot of sexual tension there. There's not a lot of empathy, sympathy, you know, and even if they do, it's probably because he's rich. You know, it's not for actual love. They won't fall in love with the dude because they can't relate to the dude, you know? But he's sexy. He's fuckable. You know, I'm sorry for my snow bunny chasers, but brah, they don't like you like that. Not in that love way that you're trying to get. Maybe, possibly, I don't know, maybe you're just chasing bugs. Oh. But yeah, most, like a good portion don't really like you like that, you know? Not in that way. They possibly could, but it's not the default. And it's like the relation thing, you know? And a lot of people nowadays don't do things for their own, like, benefits. Strangely enough, you know? A lot of our politics has told us to be, I don't know, man, like too golden rule-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like we're doing everything for everyone. Do unto those as you would like them to do unto you, but at the same time, if somebody wronged you, then, you know, what do you do then? You're supposed to just keep sucking a dick? I'm supposed to just keep slurping this up. And they shot my mom. Hello? It's crazy. That's how what we're taught in school, man. What we're taught in school, you know what I'm saying? Every time you're bullied and then you fight back, what happens? Y'all both get in trouble every time. And then we're not teaching people about money. We're not teaching them about economics. We're hardly teaching them about the birds and the bees. Like, school is definitely made for factory work. And tell me why we outsourced all of the factory work. Like 90% of the factory work is not even in the US anymore, and the one that's are in the US, they just got the robots doing the shit now. So we have everybody, you know, trained to go on to lunch, you know, at 12, and then we come in and we clock in with the bell, and everything prepares you to get in that factory, yeah. And then, you know, it's just so outdated, and nobody cares. We're paying these teachers like pennies because they know it's outdated. They know this shit is so useless. It's like they're begging people to not take the jobs. They're begging the most troglodyte, useless, trash people of society who probably shouldn't even be teaching because they can't even teach themselves how to be valuable human beings, and they just want power over someone because they have no power in their lives. I'm sorry, teachers. I'm calling myself out. This is me. The reason why I want to teach people is because I want to learn, because I feel like a fucking idiot, because I haven't solved any of this shit in my life. Like, I feel like the stupidest guy alive. Every day. Every day. So, you know, I like to come on here and not only vent, but try to give hope, knowledge, things for the future. For not only, you know, me like a couple years from now, because I am going to love watching these as like a time capsule a couple years from now, but, you know, for definitely for future generations. I don't know how long YouTube's going to be on the planet, but people got to realize that you just have to lock in. And if you have a soul, a personality, a perspective, but mostly a vision, you're gonna go somewhere. You have a vision and you have thoughts around it and you take actions. You're gonna go somewhere. I don't know where that fuck that place is, but if you hate your life right now, what's the point, man? Go somewhere. Travel. Take a trip. People just jump in the room and say, well, time to sleep for another year. And yes, if you love sleeping, make it an art. Do it. Make sleeping your vice. But if you want to sleep hard, you gotta work hard. You know, that's my favorite thing to do. When I get back from a huge workout, and then I'm just in that bed, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to boom, I'm out. And then my eyes flash open. I'm like, whoa, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours went by. I've never been too much of a narcoleptic, but getting to sleep has never been super easy either, and I think that's just because of my habits. I usually fall asleep with some white noise. I usually sweat a lot in my sleep too, so that's a fun thing. But man, it's so crazy to think about the place that the world has come to. Like I said, the meta has enhanced a lot, so all this shit I'm talking about in the holy year of 2025 is it's just so powerful. It's so powerful. The distractions, the Dark Tower, these stupid unholy guardians keeping us from what we need to do. Everything's metagamed, and I feel like, you know, I am an African. I am of the darker complexion. So I feel like everything that we do as Black Americans is also 3x'd. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a metagamed world where everything is super high level, and I have the 3x multiplier on literally everything I do. So that I'm just feel like I'm going crazy every fucking second. Like I feel like I'm living in a crazy world. I don't think I'm the only one, but of course, you know, I'm the only perspective I usually go by. So it's hard not to think we're a little trapped right now. But I assure you guys, you have vision, you change your thoughts, your own thoughts. Like I said, I'm the only person I'm really, you know, engaging with. And that can be seen as something bad or good. You know, I'm choosing the good. Because of that, I have the choice of my thoughts to morph them into something powerful and energetic, or, you know, demonic and negative. I can do either one, you know? And we've made it this far with this concoction, this alchemy that we've done. So, you know, let's switch things up. Let's change some parameters and see where we make it from there. Because the whole thing about being an Arbiter, the whole thing about finishing the Dark Realm and connecting all the realms in general is to, you know, make the internet make more sense, or make the Nemardians make more sense. Because right now we're still unraveling the story. We don't know why certain things are happening. You know, we don't know why this guy looks so angry and he always knows what the fuck is happening. You know, we don't know that. But all will come in due time. We're going to connect these realms. Next realm is one of my favorite realms. One of the best realms, you know? You know? I love it. You love it. We love it. Oh. McLovin. Get a Glovin. It's been a good time. It's been a good time so far. Over on the version 3 playthrough. And it is around the end of July, my friends. So I'd say we're making pretty good time. Probably gonna upload this around mid or end August. And yeah, 3.3, 3.4 time. I say September. You know, September. What the fuck is after September? October. 3.5 end of the year. Oh, we're gonna have to speed up a little bit. We're gonna have to speed up a little bit if we're really gonna make it to version 5. Because version 4 has like 4.5, right? Yeah. That's got 5 whole sections. Yeah, we're gonna speed this up a little bit. But we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. I have been enjoying the playthrough. I hope you enjoy watching as well. Drop a like, drop a subscribe. You know, I haven't done this before, but why not? If you made it this far, type in Paradise Liberator. You know, you are a Paradise Liberator. We've made it. We know what Paradise is, but you know what your objective is from Paradise as well, guys. You know what to do. Let's help some people. Let's teach some things. Let's teach ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Let's teach ourselves, because goodness gracious, this world is trying to make you forget. It's trying to distract you. So teach yourself, man. Discipline and love is all you need. And I love you. I'll see you next time.